Our next speaker will take us into her journey to bring a powerful perspective on how to dream, how to have a great potential, how to make mistakes, and how to push boundaries. Please welcome the passionate Alaa Sharif.
Think and say, what's the whole purpose?
Test.
Why am I doing this?
Okay, mine is working. Hi, everyone, and good afternoon. Before I'm going to start, I want to start with a quick show of hands. How many here of you in the room have ever made a mistake in their life? Raise your hand. Okay, I see some hands. How many of you have made a mistake even this week? Raise your hands. I still see a lot of people. Okay, so what I'm about to tell you, don't attack me yet, but I do not believe that any of you here made a mistake. I see some people looking very confused. Yes. Let me take you into my world of why I do not believe in mistakes the way that we are taught to. When I was in my final year of university, I always thought I had it all figured out. When people saw me, they would always see me smiling, very organized, and always in the room. But actually, behind the scenes, I was dealing with a lot of pressure, expectations, and even got into a burnout. So let me tell you what happened. 2 weeks before my final thesis defense, I was told that there's a 50-50 chance that I might not pass my thesis. I thought to myself, what do you mean I might not pass my thesis? The student who was always at school, the student who always tried to help others, and the student who was in the classroom 24/7. Me not passing? No way. So I went back home, and the first thing I did, I started to cry. So first I was like, no, I can do this. And then when I came home, I was like, no, this cannot be true. I will pass my thesis, and I will graduate this year with all my friends, because there's no way that I'm going to accept not passing. So I went into my room again. I locked myself up. I rewrote entire sections. I practiced every single word. I prepared myself in the most efficient way to get what I had to do that day, just pass my thesis. So then, the final day came. I was all hyped up. I was super ready, feeling very, very confident. And guess what? I failed my thesis. I know. I was just as shocked as some people here in the audiences. Some of you looked at me like, really? Yes, really. I failed my thesis. And at that point, I couldn't believe what I just heard. I was like, you guys are joking, right? And they were like, you know what, Alaa, you really tried your best. And we could see that you've put a lot of effort into your work, but it's just not enough. At that point, I went home again. And I cried again, but this time even more than the first time. Because this time it was real. I just really failed my thesis. So after crying for some while, feeling all my emotions, I picked myself up again. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, right? That's what they always say in movies, what you see around on social media. So I believed, you know, it's not the end of the world. I can still do this. Because hear me out, not redoing my thesis was never even an option. I mean, I'm someone that once I start something, I must finish it. There's no way that I'm leaving things halfway. I either get it done or I just get it done. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself, Alaa, you got this. Go for it. So the me first was very confident, right? I hyped myself up. I spoke with my parents. Everyone around me was so supportive. They were all like, it's okay, Alaa, it's okay. It can happen to the best of us. Because at the time, I really felt like, how can such a thing happen to me? I would be over it one day, and then the other day I would feel all my emotions again and again. And then until I decided, no, I'm not gonna feel this sadness anymore. I'm not gonna stay here in my room all day thinking about this. I must do something to change it. So I started to reflect with myself. I thought to myself, what decisions did I make to come to this point? How did I end up here in this mess? And it actually turned out that it was just my own decisions at that time. Because don't get me wrong, even though it was quite shocking to me, there were signs before that I should have known that I should have taken it more serious. Because there were times that my teacher already told me, your scope is way too big. Are you sure that you will get this done? And at that time, me being super ambitious, wanting to show the best of myself, being the perfectionist that I am, I was like, no, I got this. Don't worry about it. My scope is not too big. I can handle this. And that time, I was even struggling with some mental health issues. I think a lot of students go through that phase where you just don't know what to do with your life. Actually, you're just going along with everything. And at that time, I didn't ask anyone for help because I thought it's something I should be ashamed of. So I didn't ask help for that. I thought I just had to deal with it all together. And coming from like a Kurdish household, I think a lot of Middle Eastern and just other countries, we are raised in a way that we always feel the need to present. At least that's what I felt. And even though our society and the people behind us mean it in a good way, doesn't always mean that we perceive it in that way. But anyways, I came around, picked myself up again, and I told myself, this time you're going to make it. And what I did this time, once I started my new try for getting my papers, I asked my teachers and my examinators to be involved as soon as I started. With every single decision that I made, I was like, can you please help me? Because I need help. Or once I was feeling down, I just went to my teacher and I was like, Miss, I'm not okay. I need your help. I don't think I can do this anymore. And then along the way, I got the help that I needed. And this time, I did pass. I finally graduated. So, what I learned about myself that time is that sometimes life doesn't go the way that we have planned it. And that's okay. Because we just learn to adapt to our surroundings. Not everything goes the way that we want it to be. So throughout my life, there have been many moments that I had decided something. Sometimes it worked out in my favor, and sometimes it didn't. And even that time, I was like, it's still okay. I got this. So on the outside, everyone always thought, she has everything. She is so put together. And at a lot of times, I actually did. But on the inside, I was also struggling with a lot of my own emotions, with a lot of my own expectations, with a lot of things how I perceived my life. So at 28, I had a very nice job. I was paid a lot. I mean, I graduated in cybersecurity, and to be honest, guys, the field of cybersecurity pays you well enough. So don't worry, I was stable. I even bought myself a car. I was super happy. And by that time, I was living in the Netherlands because I grew up there. And to everyone around me, it was the picture perfect life. But to me, I didn't feel content. And it even sounds weird to say, like, okay, but Alaa, why are you not content when you've got literally everything? What is there not to be content about? I felt like a part of me was just missing, the part of belonging. Me growing up in Europe always made me feel that I was losing a part, the part of my own culture, my own people, to be surrounded within my own community. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I loved my time in Europe, but I also missed my time here. So I quit everything. I told my parents I quit my job. And the first thing my mom said was like, "Are you crazy? Is there anyone that would have such a good job and just quit everything like that? Why? What's wrong?" And I told her there's nothing per se wrong. It's just that I don't want to stay here. I just want to find out where I belong. And I don't feel like I really belong here, even though I've got everything here. So finally, they understood my choice. But they did tell me, "Alaa, you're making a mistake." And I didn't agree with that. And even when I came back to Kurdistan, a lot of my family members were even joking around, "What are you doing here?" And to me, I felt confident in making the decision to come back. Because to me, it was something that I own. Even if it didn't go the way that I would have expected it, it is still in my decision. If it works out, then well, good for me. And if it didn't, then well, it's something that I should solve myself. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be my own life, and there's going to be some trials, but it's just up to you how you're going to fix that. And if I didn't make that decision at that time, I wouldn't be standing here today. Because coming back to Kurdistan opened a lot of opportunities for me. A lot of beautiful opportunities with beautiful people that I met, which I'm very thankful for. So now that I'm standing here, I am very, very proud of the woman that I have become. And along the way, of course, not everything is going very smooth, and that's okay. It's just part of your life. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it just doesn't. And what I also learned from this is that, and I want to give that away to the audience as well, is from the theories, some people learn by going through the suffering and give meaning to it. Because giving meaning to everything that you're going through makes it easier for you to accept your decisions. So even if sometimes things feel like a bit black in front of your face, it's fine. Chill. Breathe in and breathe out. You can handle this. And to come back to why I'm standing here, is that I do not believe in mistakes the way that we are taught to. Because to me, saying, "Oh, this was just a mistake," actually sounds like, it just happened this way. And I feel better when I say, "You know what? I made this decision. I made this choice. And it turned out well for me, and sometimes it didn't. But then I can take accountability, and I have the sense of responsibility for my own choices. And once I own up for the things that I do in life, I can deal better when it doesn't work out." So to conclude this talk, anyone sitting here, let's try, and I know that's going to be sensitive to a lot of people, let's try to, instead of saying, oh, I made a mistake, no, I made a choice today, and that choice is a teacher for a lifetime. Thank you all for listening.